Thought I would take a few minutes to explain what it's like to ride in the final field sprint in the Upstate Winter Bicycle League. What happens is we go on the ride. This particular ride was about 70 miles. And as you come into the last stretch, one of the ride leaders will blow a whistle. And the whistle blowing means that you are now entering the attack zone. This is basically the same sprint we have at the conclusion of every Upstate Winter Bicycle League ride. And the rules involved here begin with you are not supposed to pass in the dotted white line there to the left. You're not supposed to attack until the whistle blows. I believe that today there were some guys who tried to anticipate and jumped off the front before they were supposed to, so they broke the rule. I think they might even be able to see them up there in the distance. But I started out a little bit farther back than I wanted to because my camera wasn't coming on. It had automatically turned off, had to get it turned back on, and then finally got into the group and was pretty far back. So I saw a guy in a Clemson kit, looked like he was ready to go there to the right, and jumped on his wheel, following him on the right edge, which was open more than I thought it would be. But the goal here was simply to work my way toward the front. I knew there was time, and I didn't want to wear myself out. But I did want to slowly but surely get in a position to participate in the final sprint. Because we're in the attack, speeds were a little bit higher, going in the 30s, but it definitely wasn't in the full sprint. And here we'll just sit for a little bit, waiting till we can get to the point where everybody's ready to go. Looking around at some of the riders to my left, though you can't see him yet, I believe is a Carolina Metro rider. I always look for those jerseys because for the most part, if you can hook up with one of those guys, you don't have to worry about getting taken out. And most of the time they're pretty strong, and so you're able to take advantage of it. There, the Clemson guy was letting me know that we were coming up on some slower riders. It may have been the B group we were overtaking, I believe. There to the left is one of the Carolina Metro guys. And here I go around my Clemson buddy. Here we come up to a railroad track. Everyone slows down because it's kind of an angle. Got to be very careful with it. But then once you get over it, a lot of times there's an attack that will take place. Coming up behind one of the Land Rover guys. The Spinks guys, you just notice some Spinks kits. Those are brand new. I think this might have been the first time they wore those today. And right in front of me, I think that's Matt Tebbets. Yeah, I think that's him. Always good to pass up Matt. Now we're moving up behind another. Oh, remind me never to wear white shorts. But here we are coming up behind another Carolina Metro guy. Things are starting to pick up speed here. The group is spreading out a bit. It's actually a lot more comfortable this way. I noticed these two guys were starting to talk, and I was thinking perhaps they might be hooking up together to do something. So I figured when I saw them move, I would try to follow along. Again, this is about an 8-minute video from the time the whistle blew until the time we reach the end. Oh, there's some acceleration. Got to react. Maybe reacting a little too slowly. Some people are starting to drop back off the front. And now I decided to follow these guys around, but then once I got out here, I got confused because you'll notice they quickly get into line, and I get kind of hung out and not sure what to do at this point because I was being blocked to my right, and I was sitting out in the wind, not enjoying that at all, trying to keep from having my front wheel taken out. I was hoping they would move up and maybe I could take in that spot up there ahead, but the speeds were a little too high and I wasn't ready to exert that much energy. So I just tried to side draft as much as possible till we could work up to the other group. Slowly but surely, more people started dropping off while some other folks tried to launch attacks. You'll notice that a lot of the guys that just went past us a little farther into the sprint, they'll be coming back to us. It's just so hard to know when to go. Okay, I believe way up there in the distance you can see the finish line. Now everybody will start getting real antsy, especially the guy right there in front of me in the Spinks jersey. We will meet again, Mr. Spinks. Here again, I'm just sitting in, waiting to make a move. Right now is the time when it was time to move. And so I began to work my way up. Some of the guys who had passed us earlier were now falling back, causing problems, and there it was. My Spinks guy came across my front wheel, and I almost had the opportunity to record my own death. Things were getting dicey here, didn't really see any need in killing myself, so I began to back off. Right up there is the finish line, which is designated by a railroad crossing light. So as we slow up here, we come into that section, and you have now taken your first ride on the UWL.